Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today on this glorious day, wherever you are? Hello to all my darlings. Hello to all my lovely friends. It is so good to have you all here. It's so nice to see everyone come into the room. Hello, my darlings. Hello, my friends. I am so happy to see you all. We need to get into a little bit of a mess today. We are going to talk about, some little similarities between the old couple here and the dastardly duo. And I thought I'd just pull up some photos just to make it fun for you guys. Hi, everyone. Hi, friends. It is so good to see you all. I'm so glad you guys decided to stop in and hang out with me because I know there are not millions, there are a lot of channels that cover Harry and Meghan. And you guys could really be checking out any channel you want. And I always say that having a little community to call your own and have a group of individuals who come and listen to you is something to never take for granted, to always be grateful for the platform that you have. And I am always grateful to have this platform and to share my voice with you all and have you all listen. And it's something that I never take for granted because it truly is something, it's a privilege. It definitely is a privilege because there are millions upon millions of other amazing creators, and you guys could check out anyone. And I'm very lucky that you all decided to come and hang out with me here for a bit. Even those that are watching this on the replay, I appreciate you guys also taking the time and hanging out with me and listening and leaving comments. I really appreciate you guys, and just know that you guys are very much loved here in my little corner and my little crazy world and my mess here. And yeah, we like to have fun here. So let's have some fun. Why don't we, huh? Because I was thinking about the Wallace and Edward and Harry and Meghan. And in a way, yes, carte blanche, you're right. Wallace does have a lot more class than Meghan Markle, because I will say that Wallace never really, I don't remember of her speaking ill about the royal family or trashing them in the manner that Harry and Meghan are doing. Yes, both Harry and Edward were two cuckold men who got, I don't know, maybe they got their, oh, we're only 3 minutes in, so I can't really say those words yet. So let me work around this in my old way that I like to talk. Maybe Harold and Edward both got their chocolate brown starfishes touched by a poke or a peg or something. And I don't know, maybe that just turned them on, that their woman would allow them to go anywhere. Nothing like the old brown starfish getting tickled once in a while. Nothing like poking the old brown eye here. Maybe that's something they're into. Who knows? Hello to everyone who are coming in. Carte Blanche says they both like to be spanked. Yeah, they must enjoy humiliation and being absolutely destroyed. These two are both men who were part of the royal family. You have a way with words, Molly. Well, we're only 4 minutes in, so I really got to be careful because I want this video to stay monetized. So we got to get a little colorful sometimes, but I appreciate you, Irene. That really means a lot when I see comments, and some of you leave comments about how my interesting vocabulary makes you guys laugh. It really tickles me inside. But let's keep going here, because Harry and Edward were two very cuckold individuals. Yes, Edward was in a much, much higher position than Harry will ever be in his life, but Edward was destined to be king one day. And Edward decided to give it all up for a woman, an American woman who did not love him. Because if you guys don't know the story, is that Wallace was never in love with Edward. Wallace was always in love with another man, with And she never wanted to be married to Edward at all. Edward threw a hissy fit, was a drama queen, said that he was going to end his life if she didn't marry him and all that nonsense. So yes, she did marry the man, but she never wanted to. Hi Molly, put this towards your candy stash. Thank you, Christine. I made sure to only eat like 3 pieces before I came on here because I didn't want to be too crazy now. Wink, wink, or should that be stink, stink? We're a little vulgar here today. We're all woken up today. It's believed that Edward was a traitor to the Second War Germans. Yeah, there has been stories that allegedly they stole stories about the workings of the royal family and other private information, but who I don't know. Yes, only 3. Last time I had too many and I was talking way too fast. I felt like I was on a hamster wheel. So yeah, definitely. Wallace only loved that he was going to be king. After he stepped down, she was pissed, but it was too late, so she had to marry him even though she didn't love him. Yes, that's very true. That's very true. Wallace was fine being the side chick. Wallace was fine being the side woman who got to go to her parties, do whatever she wanted to. And she received, let me tell you, Wallace's jewelry that she received was amazing. She has the most incredible jewelry you will ever see. And there was some very beautiful Cartier pieces. Hold on. Wallace Simpson jewels. I wasn't expecting to talk about this, but let me just pull up the catalog because she has some incredible things. And where did she sign it off to? Hold on a second. Because when Wallace Simpson passed away, she didn't have any family because she ignored her estranged in-laws. Nobody liked her. She didn't have any children, nothing. So basically, with Wallace, when she passed away, according to what her lawyer said, she had made the main beneficiary of her fortune as named the Pasteur Institute. So basically, they own all of her famed jewels, everything. And I recently noticed that there's actually, speaking of jewelries and auctions and antiques. Oh, get out of here. Go away. I wanted to say that Julian's auction house has a huge auction of Diana memorabilia and clothes and old shoes and letters and like copies of bank statements or like a check that she wrote out to Coots Bank and tons of stuff, like tons of stuff for auction. So I don't know if Meghan has the funds for it. Maybe she can take some more of Harry's money and go and, buy some of her outfits, maybe dress up even more like Diana and drive that man even more mental. It's Me only says, I never cared much for Wallace's jewelry. I thought most was tacky. Look, jewelry back then is obviously going to be tacky and out of date, sort of. But you know what I would love? Like, there was this beautiful Panther collection, but what I would do is basically take the gems, break them down, and then make something else out of them. But besides that, Wallace had some beautiful jewels, and that's the one thing that Meghan Markle doesn't have. I know Meghan wants to claim that she has Diana's gold watch. I have done many, I did a whole video debunking and even showing that articles had to retract that they had claimed that watch, the gold Cartier watch, was the one from Diana. They had to retract that. But Meghan does not have any of Diana's jewels. Meghan doesn't have anything. And to think, you didn't even spend long enough time within the royal family to get anything at all. This is gorgeous. This beautiful Panther from Cartier, I think it was. And they sold this at an auction in 2010 for $7.4 million. Crazy. Like, it's wild. This beautiful brooch that was a Cartier made in 1949, and it was a panther of sapphires and diamonds sitting on a sapphire cabochon of 152.35 carats, and it's mounted in platinum. How much did that piece sell for at auction? I don't know. It doesn't say. But apparently this piece was one of Wallace's favorite pieces. A bit tacky. Well, yes, for these days it's a bit tacky. And think about it. If you're wearing this against like a suit jacket or something, then it doesn't look like, it'll look nicer. When we're just looking at it like this, it might be like, okay, this is a little bit over the top and ridiculous, but trust me, the jewels and jewelry work from the past and before our times now is just incredible compared to what it is now. The Duke couldn't really afford those jewels. No, he ran himself into the ground and made himself poor. But let's take some other looks at this, because I cannot. This is wild. First of all, I gotta say, I love the shade that the Queen threw towards Meghan Markle, because on her wedding day, Meghan tried to play this in 2022, that this was her idea, that she wanted to include a subtle nod to the late Wallis Simpson during her wedding service to Prince Harry in 2018. So if you guys remember the Rolls Royce that Meghan showed up with, right? Meghan showed up here. I'm still trying to find out at what point did Meghan kick Doria out of the vehicle, because you never see Doria in the vehicle when they arrive at the cathedral, right? So you never ever see that. So Meghan was riding to her wedding in the same vehicle that Wallis rode in on her wedding day, and also when she rode into for Edward's funeral. Also, she used the same vehicle, and I don't know. Some have pointed out the car may have been in poor taste, having been used by Wallis to attend the funeral of her husband, the Duke of Windsor, in 1972. Who knows? Or this could be a little bit of foreshadowing, don't you think? I mean, I've always said if Meghan wanted to like elevate her so-called quote unquote status, her next step would be something tragic happened to Harry, right? She's driving the guy mental enough. Let's talk about all of like the substances he's on. He always looks completely zooted out of his mind when he's in public with her. The guy looks like he's seeing stars. And it's just who knows? There could be an accident. They're in Hollywood. There are lots of accidents like that in Hollywood where, it was an accidental overdose. And then Meghan could forever be the widow Duchess of Sussex. That's what she would want. Because remember, when Edward passed away, let me tell you guys, when Edward passed away, Wallis lived on her own, because she had become, so the Duke of Windsor died in 1972 of throat cancer. And then Wallis became increasingly frail and had dementia, but she was supported by her husband's estate and an allowance from Queen Elizabeth when she lived her final years in Paris as a recluse, not receiving any visitors apart from doctors and nurses. And you know what? When I read about how, because you read the stories about when Edward was dying, he basically died alone. Wallis wasn't by his side. And it feels like you're going to have that same thing happen to Harry and Meghan, because who do they have in their lives? Nobody. Nobody at all. The similarities are wild when you really think about it. I mean, let me stop this here so you can see just even the photos on the side here, the comparisons. History is repeating itself right in front of our eyes, but this is a worse version of Edward and Wallis. Harry and Meghan are two adults who are spoiled, who truly have more than what most people have in this world, and they are complaining. They are very protected. They're still getting protection, they still get security, and yet they're always complaining about being in danger, something happening. Marty, thank you, my love, says, Molly, I saw an article some months back where Megsy supposedly said that Harry needed to retrieve her jewelry left to her by the late Queen on one of his trips to the UK. I only saw that article once. To be quite honest, Marty Brown, I don't think Meghan has anything from the UK. And Harry, where he wouldn't even be allowed onto crown property, into the palaces, on the grounds. Where? What jewelry? Meghan's got no jewelry. All she's got is her raggedy bracelet from Trevor that she still wears on one hand. She apparently, allegedly, has a diamond bracelet that Charles had gifted to her as when she was getting married to Harry as a wedding gift. As a wedding cake. I'm thinking about cake. As a wedding gift. And besides that, I don't think she has jewels or anything. That's why she lies and pretends that the gold Cartier watch that she's wearing belongs to Diana. That doesn't belong to Diana. That was a piece that she bought when they Mexited to Canada. And she's never changed the narrative. She's allowed that whole narrative that the media said that, oh, that's Diana's watch. She never corrected that. It's not Diana's watch. And the aquamarine ring, also, that they want to talk about, the divorce ring. Meghan does not have that either. She has a replica of that. I don't believe that Meghan has any of Diana's jewelry. I think that William would probably have hell freeze over before Meghan walked out of that family with any of his mother's jewelry. I mean, here is another. She wore the pearls the Queen gave her to the funeral. That's all she has. You know what, Irene Britt? Those exact same pearl earrings that Meghan was wearing to the funeral that day, I bought a pair that looked exactly like that from the royal family website. They have a shop there where you can buy like replicas for like, I don't know, it was like 30 pounds or something like that. It was very cheap. But me being the petty Betty that I am, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, why would you give a broad like that who talked mad shit about your entire family, who has been nothing but a pain in the ass, some real jewels? I'd be like, here, girl, have these pearl earrings. Yes, they're diamonds. Yes, they're pearls. Here you go. Oh, was that you? It's me watching that I had responded to? I think that's what it is. Yeah, she is a ding dong. The thing is that Meghan has basically, like, she had one of the greatest opportunities. When she married Harry, everyone was happy. Oh, that makes me happy. When she married Harry, she had, like, the world was her oyster. She had a huge platform and people actually enjoyed being around her and seeing Harry happy. And it was like a breath of fresh air into the royal family. Who knew that breath of fresh air was quickly going to turn into the worst stinking halitosis you have ever smelled? Worse than walking through a barnyard of 100 pigs who just had intense diarrhea due to the slop that they were fed. Who knew Meghan Markle was going to cause such a shit show? Who knew that Meghan Markle was going to marry into the royal family and make it stink worse than a pig farm? Who knew? But this is who she is. That's the thing. This is who Meghan Markle is. This is her level. Like, even Hollywood didn't want Meghan Markle. What does that tell you? And Hollywood is one of the most classless, degenerate places ever. And they don't want her because Meghan runs her mouth. She's not trustworthy. She's not smart. She's not bright. Pigs are insulted now. My apologies to pigs. We all know that pigs are very smart. They are very bright. But the only thing that is not great about pigs is their doo-doo. Let's be honest. She truly did have it all. She had it all and threw it all away. And now she is back to doing what? She is back to shilling jam. You literally left the royal family where you could have actually made a difference in the world, like you always claim you want to do, and you are shilling jam, pretending to be a founder, pretending to be a podcaster, pretending to be a best-selling author. It's all pretend for Meghan Markle. She makes Fergie look royal. I mean, she truly, her and Fergie, I mean, oh, those two are just a disaster. Let's be completely honest. Rachel Meghan wants to destroy Harry, but is going to get destroyed herself. Just tragic. History is going to repeat itself. Also, she's taken down Harry down a dark past. Look, Debbie, I will always say, I don't know if you've been here before. I'm glad that you are here. But I will always say that I will give Meghan Markle the credit for exposing Harry for the true prick that he is and not the palace PR persona that they had constructed for us, the public, to think he is, right? So, clap, 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 clap. Thank you, Meghan Markle. I will always give you your praises for that. I will always praise you for exposing Harry for the real jerk that he is, for the real idiot that he is. But let's be honest, at the end of the day, these two are both nothing but a couple of idiots. Two spoiled idiots, but who are brought up in different, environments. Harry is a spoiled idiot who was brought up in the royal household. Meghan was a spoiled idiot with a father who, despite she always wants to pretend like she was brought up in poverty, her father was an Emmy Award-winning lighting director. He was pulling in at least $250,000 per year. This was back in 1980s. That goes a long way. These are two spoiled, entitled brats who have never gotten a shoe to their butt growing up, who have never gotten, put in their place. They probably never got the evil eye either. Trust me, to this day, if my own mother gives me the evil eye, I know to shut the hell up. That scares me and still gives me the heebie-jeebies, okay? I'm just being honest. Meghan Markle literally had nothing, came up to get her claws into an emotionally stunted moron who has serious mommy issues. And because of her ego, because of her, because of her ego, because of her high sense of self and thinking that she knows everything, she has fumbled it. She truly is the type of person who thinks that just because she has married into the royal family that she is better than everyone. He also won the lottery equivalent to nearly $2 million in today's money. There has been, I've heard some conflicting stories about that lottery story, because I've heard before that it was a lotto that was held by the production company or something like that, and he wasn't supposed to enter it or something. There's some shady thing. I don't know too much about it. I've just heard conflicting stories, okay? That's all. And until I figure out more about it, I think it's better to not say anything. Meghan Markle has shown us who she really is. Yeah. She has shown us. Rachel Meghan, show us who she really are. She definitely has. She thinks that she's a know-it-all. Let's be honest, okay? Let me keep it 100 with you guys here. Harry is an idiot. We already know that, okay? I've already established that Harry is not the brightest bulb in the shed, okay? Now, if I put someone who's not so smart next to Harry, then guess what? They're gonna look like they're smart. Meghan isn't the brightest, but next to Harry, she comes off as appearing smart, because standing next to an idiot, of course anyone's gonna appear smart. Okay, let's be honest. Let's be completely honest. It's like Meghan literally went for the low-hanging fruit of the royal family. Oh yeah, we all knew about that microphone under the collar because she kept fidgeting with it. These two are just so obvious about all of their actions, all of their moves, everything. And at the end of the day, I feel like in a way, history is repeating itself, because Edward and Wallace died alone. They didn't even have each other. They didn't have no one around them. They didn't have any friends. They didn't have any family. Nobody. And think of the legacy that they left behind. Wallace and Edward are known as what? The idiot who would have been king, who gave it all up for a woman who didn't even love him. Harry is the same, but he wasn't a king. He was an idiot spare. And then he also married a woman who has never loved him. Because let's be completely honest, Meghan never loved Harry. She loved the idea that she was marrying a prince and everything she could finally get her hands on that she could never have access to before. Besides that, Meghan doesn't love Harry. She never did. Courtney says Wallace could actually dress her figure. Yes, she could. That she definitely could. That she definitely could do. I mean, she knew how to dress. She did have a sense of style, but just Meghan needs to realize that she is not a tall, statuesque woman like Catherine, and that she has a short, boxy frame. Here are a lot of examples of Wallace and Meghan here. It is very creepy. Oh, MeghansMole, it's almost 30 minutes. Yeah, you're right. I got to get going, guys. Let me finish up quickly here because don't pile on Katie or anything. I asked her to let me know because I have to get to a doctor's appointment. And yeah, I need to make sure that I'm at 30 minutes because I can't be late for my doctor's appointment here. Anyways, so I just wanted to let you guys know. I just wanted to come on here. No, thank you, Katie. I really appreciate it. I love you for that. Thank you. But yeah, Edward and Wallace, I feel like Harry and Meghan all over again because they don't have anyone. Harry has given up so much. His family, all of his charities have now gone to hell. All of his friends have all left him. He's got no friends. And let's be honest, at the end of the day, Harry married for convenience. Harry married because he felt like he was going to be alone. And well, that's not when you marry. What's that saying? When you marry in haste, or when you, he threw it all away too. He definitely did. I was hoping for some typing. You guys didn't get any typing today? Hold on. I'll give you guys some typing. Here we go. Hold on. Just for you guys, just because you guys asked. How's that? Good? It's because my nails are long right now. That's why it's more tap, 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 tap. Marry in haste, repent at leisure. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, guys. There. Of course, you guys asked nicely. You can't make a hoe a housewife. That's for sure. You definitely can't, especially a Soho hoe. I mean, everyone told Harry, don't marry her. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Harry was getting the milk for free. And well, no, fake typing is not the same thing. I wasn't fake typing. I was typing out my name. But anyways, my darlings, I'll promise more typings in the next live. I just wanted to jump on here and have some fun and just do a little comparisons between Harry and Meghan and Wallace and Edward, because this is crazy. I mean, history does repeat itself. Fashion does repeat itself, but I never thought I would see history repeat itself in this manner. And at the end of the day, Harry and Meghan, their legacy is going to be known for being a couple of spoiled brats, being a couple of... First of all, let me just say this before I go. Can the media and everyone in like news columns and stuff stop calling Harry and Meghan a young couple? Meghan is damn near 50 years old. She's not young. Not that there's anything wrong with being 50 years old or anything like that, but they are not a young couple, okay? Stop saying that Harry and Meghan are a young, newlywed couple. They're not. They're middle-aged, they're raggedy, they're trollops, they're worn out, they're busted. They're nothing but a couple of frauds who really, carte blanche, you're right, two whiny little bitches, definitely. two sociopaths who definitely deserve each other, two morons who deserve each other because they're not very bright. Anyways, my darlings, I've got to run here. Maybe I'll do a bit of a longer live tomorrow. But in the meantime, I'm going to go. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to all of those who send a super chat. Margie said, "Hi, Mole. Did you see Auntie's Anne Boleyn video?" No, I didn't. Maybe I should go watch it since you've mentioned it. I'll go take a look. But guys, I will catch you in the next one. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much and love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Mwah, 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 mwah. Kisses and cuddles to you all. Bye.